Music's artist collection.
Pet Shop Boys.
Have you ever asked autographs of other people? Is there anyone that you've got an autograph of? Because it's not a cool thing to do, and you can do it for children, but...
Well, I've... Actually, one of my biggest regrets in life is an autograph I didn't ask for because I was too cool.
Yeah.
In 1976, I interviewed Mark Bolan when I worked at Marvel Comics. And Mark Bolan was a big comics fan. We did a piece in the comics about that. And he gave me his new album, which is called Futuristic Dragon. And I really wanted him to sign it. But I thought I was 21, and I just thought it was too uncool to ask. And now I always look at this album and think, I could say, to Neil Love Mark, and it doesn't. I always feel really sad about it.
What about you, Chris? Have you ever asked for an autograph or a photograph? Selfie?
I don't think I have, but do you know what? I seem to recall having my photograph, or maybe
John Peel.
Did I get an autograph or did I get my photograph taken? I got my photograph taken with John Peel when he came to Liverpool University. That's about the closest I've got to that, I think.
Yeah, so obviously someone that.
But now, of course, people ask for selfies, which is really annoying. I'd rather give an autograph than be photographed.
Yeah. So do you?
I don't mind signing. I've never minded signing autographs.
You've not at all.
No, I think it's. I think if someone's got the record, particularly, and then I can totally, and then you write, to Jane Love Neil. I think it's really nice.
And why do you have a problem with selfies?
Because it's difficult to like the way you look in a photograph.
Of course, yeah. And then it goes out on social media, and then it's
that's the problem. Yeah, we always used to.
I mean, in the past, people used to have Kodak Instamatic cameras and take them to the chemist to get developed, and we used to do millions of those, and I would still do that, to be honest. Whereas nowadays it's kind of tracking you, isn't it?
It's a little bit like or a trophy,
or a trophy, and people are going to write horrible comments underneath it, and it feels a bit weird.
Yeah. So do you decline if people ask?
We decline, and actually we always say sorry, we don't do photographs, but we'll sign an autograph.
Yeah. Okay. So people will understand.
And people give you a bit of a weird look, like what's
but then
an autograph?
Of course, no one has a pen.
So then you go into the shop next door, get a pen, and then
stand there awkwardly on the street corner.
The whole thing takes hours.
Let's play another track of your choosing.
When I was driving around Durham a couple of weeks ago, the Durham countryside, I bought the 3 CD package of some of Dusty Springfield's early albums, and this is a song from 1968, I think. And it's called Mr. Dream Merchant. It's very, very euphoric and beautiful.
Hey, Mr. Dream Merchant, everything depends on you.
What a beautiful song. Incredible. I've never heard
gorgeous.
That. Yeah.
It's originally an American soul song. But Dusty's given it this yearning, dreamy quality. It's really it almost reduces me to tears, to be honest.
Beautiful, Dusty Springfield. If you just move your microphone down a little bit.
Sorry,
that's right. And move
He's
a
got
bit
no
towards
experience with microphones.
I've rarely been on the radio before.
Slightly embarrassing. So how have your days been today? What have you been up to?
Today I got the train down from Durham, and as we were approaching York, the guard came on the train, came over the intercom, and said, I'm sorry to report that this train is now cancelled.
When you got on the train?
No, I got on at Durham.
Yeah.
And this was going to York. And then we pulled into York. He said, OK, I'm sorry, we're going to Doncaster, and then you're going to have to get on the bus. And so I got a taxi to Grantham. I had lunch in Grantham, and I got the train back from Grantham. I'd never been to Grantham before.
Oh, well, how was Grantham?
I thought Grantham was quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
It's in Lincolnshire.
Birthplace of Maggie Thatcher, of course.
Birthplace of Mrs. Thatcher. Didn't see the house. But also, Isaac Newton went to school there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, it turned into quite a nice day. Yeah.
And what were you doing in Durham? Family visit?
Durham, yeah, I have a house near Durham. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. My family live up there too.
But you didn't take the bus. When was the last time you took the bus?
I never get the bus, but I get the tube all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
And do you get hassled, or do people just... What's the reaction?
Sometimes people say something.
Hassle is the wrong word, isn't it, really?
No, sometimes hassle's the right word, but normally it's not. I mean, on the train, as we were getting off at Doncaster, there's a couple celebrating their silver wedding anniversary, came and talked to me. They were very nice, it was nice to meet them.
Yeah. And Chris, how was your day? Anywhere near as exciting as Neil's?
Well, I was on a train as well, but we had no complications at all on the West Coast line.
Well, occasionally I see you at Euston
far
Station, don't
superior
I?
line than the East Coast.
Yes, you're always bumping into each other at Euston.
Yeah, I often see Joe at Euston.
Yeah, just outside Paper Chase. But this is normally I'm coming into work, and you were going to visit your mum, I think, last
That's
time.
right.
I saw
Well,
you.
you'll be pleased to know that the cast has come off.
Excellent.
It came off yesterday. So.
And what has she done? She broken her leg?
No, it's her arm.
Right.
My brother's puppy, which is a rather boisterous dog, knocked her over. And so, anyway, she's on the mend. which
Okay,
is
well, that's good. That's good. What's her name?
My
mum.
mum's not
Not your dog.
Mrs. Lowe to you.
Mrs. Lowe, I'm glad you're repairing well. Can we just contrast your weeks? Because, Chris, I read an interview and you were saying how you were very different, the pair of you, like what you choose to do, the way you live your lives. So I'm kind of intrigued. Over the last week, Neil, you were saying you were in Durham. Chris, what have you got up to over the last week?
Well, I've been at my mum's house, so it's not been a typical time, really, but lots of cups of tea and watching daytime television, which actually isn't that much different to what I normally do.
Isn't that what
actually.
you normally do?
Like, what are your daytime TV obsessions? What do you enjoy?
Do you want me to go through the whole day?
Oh, my God.
I tend to watch
do you start?
Pointless is pretty important viewing.
Radio 2 have done a pointless episode,
Escape
by the way.
to the Country.
Are you in it?
Might be.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
but you're not allowed to say, because we've met someone else who might be in it too.
Yeah, well, no, I am in it. We did do it, and it
Yes.
was terrifying, really scary. Right, Escape to the Country as well. Yeah,
The Daily Politics with Andrew Neil's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can fill up most of the day watching television. And at the moment, of course, there's the French tennis on, so that's. Although it's been rained off most of the week. So,
weather's been rubbish. Okay, so daytime TV for you quite often. Evening, what do you do in the evenings? TV.
Well, I've been cooking a lot. I've got my mum's recipes. So I've been making lots of pies and various dishes and things, cakes. I've been doing a lot of cooking recently.
Wow, is this a revelation, Neil?
It is. I can't imagine Chris making a cake.
Oh, what kind of cake?
Yeah, I don't really like making cakes, but I prefer cook pies.
So you do pastry? You good at pastry?
And Mum's recipe is fantastic. Really good. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm seeing a Chris Lowe cookbook.
I
on the
think
horizon
so.
here.
It's all comfort food.
So it could just
I
be- it
don't
would
do
just be-
I don't do drizzles or foams. It's all pretty basic stuff.
So it'd just be called Comfort in a Pet Shop Boys
I
style.
was going to say the same thing. Yeah. Comfort, the Pet Shop Boys cookbook. It's just publishers can send their bids in now.
And Neil, what about you? The thing that Chris said, you said that you are quite happy to not do very much at all, whereas Neil, you're very active all the time. So your last week, what have you been up to?
Well, actually, what we haven't mentioned in the last week is we've been to Ibiza.
Somebody's been in touch saying they saw you there.
We were at the IMS conference. At the end of it, they had the keynote interview, which was amazingly with us. Pete Tong interviewed us, and it was fun. Actually, it was good, and it was nice to see a bit of sunshine. Wander around Ibiza Old Town. We had a good time. Then I came back. I went straight to Durham and had some friends staying in my house. And one of them is a very good cook, so he did the cooking. So we ate very well.
Very nice. But is that true to say that you are the one who's active all the time and doing the things?
Well, when I'm in London, I do, go out to.
He's out every night.
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah.
Whereas I actually like staying in now.
Do you?
Yeah.
You feel like you've got to that age that actually resting is quite.
I really
enjoyable.
enjoy staying in and just not doing very much.
Yeah, and do you have animals at home? Are you?
No, but my sister also has a gorgeous little dog, so I like spending time with him as well.
Yeah. Do you do any sport or anything? Either of you?
Well, I like to play tennis, but I've not played at all this year yet. So
I go running.
You do?
Yeah,
that's not a
for many years.
sport.
I don't. Well, it's the nearest thing to sport I can think of.
What kind of running do you do then?
I go running for about two or three times a week for about 25 minutes.
Oh wow! And the benefits for you, what are they?
I think it's
A hip replacement probably on the way.
No, I don't think I've managed to do that. I mean, I've got friends who run marathons, and I can't believe that's very good for you.
Have you ever been tempted? Have you done any races?
No, I've
at
never
all?
been tempted to do a marathon because I've always thought you'll just screw up your knees.
I think that's generally what happens.
But I love running by. I go run down by the river and in London, and I really like doing that. And up in Durham, I swim because I have a swimming pool.
Oh, very nice.
and so I swim. I'll go in the pool and swim 40 lengths.
Yeah, and this is all it's good for the body and it's good for the head as well, isn't it? Yeah,
I think running particularly. Well, you run, don't you? Is if you ever feel a bit down or stale, and you go for a run, you come back and you just feel very, very energized. And often over the years, over the entire career we've had, if we're writing a song, I can't think of any words, I'll listen to it on headphones and instrumental while running, and words sometimes just seem to sort of accrue to it by the end, which is quite a useful thing. I always think it's really incredible if an amazing and sort of an amount of luck goes into it. If you can come up with something that's just very, very euphoric and simple. There's a track on our album which I really like called Groovy, and I can't even really remember us writing it, but I just really love it, and it seems sort of easy to do it. And sometimes when a track is really easy, like years ago we wrote Let's Bet Lots of Money, it was very easy. They're tracks that seem to stick around.
This is from Ben. Do the Pet Shop Boys still buy vinyl records?
I don't actually.
You don't at all?
I do have a vinyl record player, but it's not hooked up at home.
And what do you think of the vinyl resurgence?
I can see why people like it, because music has got beyond ephemeral to just something you flick through on a streaming site, and there's no. I think people like a commitment to music. And how many people have you heard through your life say, "Oh, I used to like picking up the album, reading the sleeve notes, reading the lyrics while listening to the album." There is something, and also it's a very beautiful object, the 12-inch record, and over the years, artists have put so much effort into the sleeves and the sleeve artwork and all the rest of it, as well as obviously, of course, the music. So I do understand it, but I thought it was quite interesting that there's a statistic about how many people listen to the vinyl albums they buy.
I know, it's fascinating.
I think it's like 50% don't listen to them.
Yeah, because you go into somewhere like Urban Outfitters or these big stores, and they're just all over the wall. It is like a work of art. Think what
a wonderful and cheap artwork a vinyl album is. How beautiful it looks in your house.
Yeah. Do you have any vinyl at home?
Oh, I've got tons. When at some point I threw away vinyl, but I didn't throw. I kept all my 1980s 12 inches. When I was at Smash Hits, I used to get all these remixes. Now I carried on collecting them afterwards, and so I kept all of those because they're sort of irreplaceable. Whereas if you had Purple Rain soundtrack album by Prince, obviously you can still stream it or buy it on CD or whatever. And so I didn't keep that.
Are there any outstanding 12 inches that you can remember?
Oh, I always like that. It's a very famous record. Simple Forget-Me-Nots.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great...
Patrice Rushen. Yes,
that's a great 12-inch mix.
Chris, what about you? Do you buy vinyl?
I did. I used to love paying a lot of money for a 12-inch record. An obscene
amount. You spent
amount.
a fortune in the past.
Well, no,
that was actually £5, by the way.
Yeah, that was a lot.
A lot of money in those days.
Actually, I would still think that was a lot. Yeah, so we used to go to this record shop, Record Shack, I think. No, was it called Record Shack?
Record Shack on Berwick Street.
And they had all these imports from New York. It felt really special getting this obscure vinyl from New York.
And have you kept any of your vinyl?
I've got all my vinyl. At some point, I've got to go through it all. It's all in boxes at the moment. And I think also when we used to do sort of DJ things, standing in for Simon Bates or whatever, we used to get sent tons of the stuff, and I've never actually gone through and sorted out what I actually wanted to keep and what was what was rubbish.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning on BBC Radio 1 FM, and for the next 2 hours, here are the Pet Shop Boys.
Neil Tennant.
I'm Chris Lowe, we're the Pet Shop Boys.
And we're coming to you absolutely live from Radio 1 with the Golden Hour.
The Pet Shop Boys with the Golden Hour.
Yes, this is the Pet Shop Boys here, absolutely live on Radio 1. Chris Lowe is actually playing all the records and jingles, so if it all goes horribly wrong, you'll know why.
Yeah, anyway, this is the Soul to Soul #1 with this record.
Back to reality, back to life.
Like, this is the year that everyone was going to raves and sort of going on the M25 and getting stopped by the police and things. And it's a pretty good year for me.
If you want to guess what the year is, you can phone us up, or if you're incredibly modern, you can fax us, because this was also the year that a new American group appeared on the Smash Hits Award, and lots of people went mad over them. They were called the New Kids on the Block. This is the Pet Shop Boys, live on 1FM with the Golden Hour.
What was the year?
Yes, this was the year we first heard from 808 State, who we'll be hearing a bit from later in the show. It was also the year that Margaret Thatcher adopted the royal we, announcing on March the 3rd that we have become a grandmother. And it was also the year where the film Scandal brought the Profumo affair back into the headlines, and also it brought Dusty Springfield back into the charts with Nothing Has Been Proved.
Pet Shop Boys with the Golden Hour.
What was the year? Well, it was the year that Ken Dodd was found not guilty of defrauding the Inland Revenue, and it was also the year that Nigel Lawson resigned as Chancellor and was replaced by someone hitherto rather unknown called John Major. Well, Fibercoat, Darren and Dave at Fibercoat think this year was 1990. I'm sorry, Darren and Dave, you're wrong. Trunking Limited from Thurston Road, London, also think it's 1990. They've also got it wrong. And the Station Press say, good day, lads. The year is about 1990, or maybe about 1990, Harry Wentworth, but actually it's not exactly 1990.
Right. Another record. I've got a fax here from Adam in Manchester who says, was it 1988, the year when the Hacienda was really good? Well, no, it wasn't, Adam.
No, it wasn't, but actually a lot of people have got it right. Chris English from Bristol and Dean Morris from Droitwich phoned up with the right year. And also people have been faxing us. Pananaro from Sandwich Bar in Belfast has got the right year. And so is Tina and Tony at Oscar's Video in Redditch. The year, of course, was the year of the Stone Roses, 1989.
Well done, everyone.
Pet Shop Boys with the Golden Hour.
I found a photograph. I was looking through and talking photographs and selfies, and there's a picture. I would just pass it over to you now, and it's you with David Bowie. Can you see this photograph? I can. And there's much hilarity going on. He's got like a vicar's collar on. Is that right?
And
you're both laughing.
This is taken at Top of the Pops in 1996 when we did Hello Space Boy with them. And David Bowie, was a very funny person. We've probably told the story before, but when we did this, he asked us to do this mix of Hello Space Boy, and there was only one verse in the song, and we wanted, with the arrangement we did, needed two verses, and Chris said, why don't you cut up one of his songs like he used to cut up songs? So we cut up Space Oddity, and then the phone rings, it's David Bowie, and I said, oh yeah, we've decided to cut up Space Oddity. There was this long silence on the phone, and he said, yeah, sounds like it better come in. And he came into the studio, and I sang the second verse as a guide vocal, and he just rolled off and he said, it's great, but you've got to sing it. And so we ended up on Top of the Pops.
Six Music's Artist Collection.
Pet Shop Boys.